At some point the stream will start. Doopy doopy doo. When it pops up, come on. And any moment now, something will happen. Maybe that you're already hearing this, I don't really know. Oh, apparently I'm live. Hello everyone, I'm Iron Phoenix and welcome to No Man's Sky. This is actually the patch version, and they've added a crashed freighter because why not? It's big and it's apparently you can find these other things at crashed freighter loot sites around the world. I thought it was kind of neat. So started a new game, deleted my old one, so I'd do a revisit to this game. I suspect that's probably not, no. So it's better than the survival mode. Oh, I don't like the survival mode. It's not. Survival mode has got issues. Right. Okay, I need plutonium in order to be able to take off. Oh, there's some over there. Excellent. So yeah, what is this game? For those of you that may not know this game. So No Man's Sky was advertised as a procedurally generated survival game with planets and shiz. And what was advertised and what people got were two very, very different things. They seem to suffer from the Peter Molyneux style of advertising, where they will say one thing and actually mean something completely different. And so the game, for me, the big issue with the game was basically they've done something that means that it is extremely sensitive to changing window focus. And so every, I don't know, 30 seconds or so it minimises, because I had an issue with Windows Update. And this animal is attacking me, or attempted to attack me, and now it's no longer attacking me, or maybe it is, I don't know. I'll just kill it. It's probably safer. I do have a bolt caster on this thing, actually. I might want to just switch over to my bolt caster. How do I change that? I don't actually know. Anyway, let's run over here and scan the area again, because I can't remember where the plutonium was. It was somewhere around here. Zinc. Oh, plutonium. PU. So yeah, on release the game wasn't the $60 game that people were expecting. It wasn't quite as polished as it could have been, and as a result, people didn't like it very much, which I don't necessarily blame them for not being satisfied with what the game was. The game itself, you know, reasonably decent, Wanderathon, and it got better as time went on. It had its issues, but it certainly wasn't as bad as people were claiming. I suspect quite a lot of that is the price tag, and the fact that it wasn't necessarily a game for everyone, which it had the media, it had so much media attention that it was doomed to fail. Sony had come in and made sure that everybody knew that No Man's Sky was a thing, and when it was released, people didn't necessarily like it very much because it wasn't their thing. You know, they were more of the action crowd, whereas this is not really an action game. And yeah, and coupled with the price tag, which was a little bit steep, I got this on sale. I rebought it, and yeah, I think 20 at launch was probably going to be enough. It's no good really saying, well, it's 60 now, but what you're getting is $20 worth of game, and then we're going to add 40 later on. It's not really fair to do that. I do think that the price tag should be fair, or you should be extremely open about what the state of the game currently is. Now, right, I've got to find Iridium, and I've also got to make some money. I'm going to go up to the space station, I think. Quickly. So I am in the standard ship. Now, the way that I actually ended up in my last playthroughs, I actually fixed up quite a lot of ships so that I could constantly upgrade my ship. It seemed to be a very good way of going about, and this was sort of after they added in that feature, so I don't know if it was actually in the original game, the ability to just sort of say, well, that ship is crashed, I'm going to take it. But it certainly did work quite well, I thought, eventually. I mean, this is no Elite Dangerous, but then I don't actually expect it to be. The dev studio reads pretty small, and unfortunately, and I do believe that Sony have a very big responsibility that they just, you know, they pretty much wash their hands of it, and that I thought was pretty bad of them. It was Sony's fault that so many people knew about the game, and so Sony does have to bear some responsibility for the state of the game. No Man's Sky was a very small dev team, so you know, why do you expect them to create an Elite Dangerous style of game? And you know, people were complaining about all sorts of things about the game, and some of it was warranted and some of it wasn't. But you know, this is gaming today. Right, so I want to sell some stuff. So I need to sell my Mordite, and I'm also going to sell, there's all sorts of additional stuff in here that I don't really know what it does yet. I don't want to sell my thaumium, like quantum accelerators and decommissioned circuits. I don't know what any of this stuff is yet, but I'm sure I'll find out at some point. Right, so we're gonna have to go and do some exploration, I think. Oh, it does actually say, so I need a dynamic resonator, and I also need to find some useful things. This is so that we can get the hyperdrive, so we can sort of bounce around planets and the like. Emerald, yeah, it does have Iridium on it. Let's do a, see if there's anything decent on it. Now, mostly on these planets, what I want to be looking for is large amounts of plutonium, sort of points of interest. I think this looks like it's an ice planet. I have to say that the game is still missing some things that I would quite like. For example, I would quite like the ability to have multiple bases, and you just don't have that ability there yet. Oh, it's a little bit more lively than I thought it would be. But, ooh, there's a thing over there. Let's go over to the thing. Oh, I'm going to arrive in about 50 minutes. Well, we'll still look for useful things as we travel across the wastes. Yeah, I would like to have the ability to have multiple bases on bases on multiple planets, which you don't have that ability to do, and that's a shame. I'd quite like that thing anyway. I should note that this is probably going to be a short stream tonight. It's Sunday night and I don't particularly feel that awake. I just thought I would, you know, do a bit of No Man's Sky, because I haven't really done No Man's Sky on a stream before, apart from that first time, possibly for a second time. I can't really remember. Right. I'm looking for Iridium still. Or just something. The only point of interest seems to be on the other side of the planet. I don't know what's going on. Oh, a thing that didn't actually appear on my scanner. That happens a lot. You know, it kind of... the scanner sort of only half works most of the time. It's very strange that sometimes it will tell you, you know, about nearby points of interest, and sometimes it just won't. And the same with the other scanner as well. Sometimes it won't actually tell you about the plutonium that you're pretty much standing next to. I don't know if it's a bug or if it's by design, or a bit of both. Shield at maximum. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, we've got some credits. Oh, there's that other way of getting credits as well, isn't there? There's if I go into P. No, if I go to discoveries, I can upload these discoveries, and I get some credits out of it. I think I can also do that with the little monster things that sort of wander around and attack you for no reason. Yeah, I think I can sell those, but I need the scanner, and this multi-tool doesn't actually have that scanner. This is because I've upgraded this multi-tool a couple of times. I've got them for free, actually. I found the first one, and then somebody decided that they would sort of give me more, a better multi-tool, which was nice of them. So this round's been fairly generous with my multi-tool anyway, not really with the ship yet. Hopefully that my fortunes will change on that front. Of course, YouTube is doing that thing again where it says, oh, we're going to just buffer the stream and not really tell you much about what's going on. Alright, on we go. I need Heridium. Where is all the Heridium? It said that this planet had some somewhere. That's Emerald. Heridium comes in like big sort of things. You know them when you see them. Ooh, a 7-second one. What is that? Probably like a monolith or something. Oh, no, that's a suit station. Totally landing at these. No, landing area is clear. Come on, come on. Come on. No, there's nothing. Yes, I know you can't land there, but oh, for goodness sake, why are you doing that? No, bad. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Got there in the end. Landing system's a bit of a nightmare as well. It's one of those games that, you know, it could have been good. Unfortunately. It's still a little bit clunky in places, especially when after you've played something like Elite Dangerous, where you can just basically land on stuff without the ship saying, "Oh, by the way, you can't quite land here because there's a bit of a rock in the way, so you can't just land here." Right, okay, let's do a general. Yeah, you can also do it like by this. I don't really know what. Oh, like it's unlocking additional like technology slots and cargo slots. I think I can just do a general one. I'm meant to be making some money, but so I think that so you've got your exosuit, but you've kind of got technology only slots, or no, I don't really know what all that is about. I should read the patch notes again. They've added a few bits and pieces. Right. I just want some Heridium. Oh god, no, bad ship. I might have to build that. You can build a scanner thing. I have to build one of them. See if I can find some Heridium. Or What's that? Not one I've... Don't think this is one I've... Okay. It's nice that it was actually telling me that it was landing. I didn't really know if it was doing it or not. As for survival, oh god, I've got issues with that one. Survival mode, you kind of think, okay, it's going to be a bit harder, but it's going to be fair, or built in such a way that it's reasonably fair. So if you look at something like Fallout 4's survival mode, it's harder, but it's in a way that's a little bit more logical. With this, no, it just makes everything far more expensive. So if you want to take off from a planet, you need 100% launch thruster. And right, how do I've got a bolt. I think I've got a bolt caster on this thing. Yes. Access fire mode by pressing G. Aha! That's how you do it. And then, good God, that's gonna take. This is gonna take a while to get through, and I've got sentinels. Let me just deal with these things. Right, yeah, and to do, let's move some of these things over. Yeah, ooh, neutrino modules, nice. Usually these things have got some good in them, so it is worth cracking these doors open. Unfortunately, you will have to deal with sentinels, especially if you can't get in there quick enough. Once you're in, then the sentinels will deactivate and vanish. But right, let's see what they want. So the alarm has locked the terminal. Security scanners are... So with these, they're explanatory. So they will generally tell you what's wrong. So all I know that it's detecting an interloper. So I think if I either cut the camera feed or the heat sensors, then it should allow me in. But I don't know which one. Security scanners appear. That could be anything. I don't know if that's a camera feed or a heat sensor. It's detecting an interloper. I'm going to cut the camera feed. Aha! There we go. The reason why I said cutting the camera feed was because it... Ooh, learned a new product formula. Because the heat sensors would only detect heat, the camera sensors might detect if somebody was an interloper or not. That was my thought patterns there. Right, let's go on. And is that iridium? Could be. Oh, may as well go for a walk. See what that is. G. Yeah, that's iridium, I think. It looks like it, sort of. Oh no, it's just a piece of rock. Right, what's that thing that I can build? The signal booster, I need 50 iron and 25 plutonium. I can do that, I think. There's quite a lot of iron lying around somewhere. the other issue with the survival mode, even though it's it's not particularly fair because it just sort of makes everything more expensive, but the game doesn't really recognise that survival mode is a thing, and so it will tell you the wrong amounts for things in the tutorial help message type things, which is a bit of a shame that that they haven't quite got around to working out that survival mode exists yet. Or in fact Iridium. I might have to go to another planet. It's a bit of a pain. I got that at least. I don't know if that's going to be particularly useful, but we'll see. Save it. I'll do another 10 minutes or so of this, and then I shall vanish to put my feet up. One of them days. But of course, tomorrow will be the Hearts of Iron stream as normal. Because Hearts of Iron is kind of awesome. Slightly. Yeah, so yeah, that'll be the Hearts of Iron stream tomorrow. And then Thursday, I don't know. We'll see what I feel like. As well as, the occasional interesting little piece of... Oh, something interesting that I should talk about, which I don't think I have. Alex Mayer has obviously sent out a load more DMCAs, and one of those people on the DMCAs list is Giant Bomb. And the video in question has actually been removed. So, yeah, that could get interesting. There's some other, there's been about 60, I think, more DMCAs that have gone out for River City Ransom, and yeah, so some stuff has actually been removed, unfortunately, because she can't just work out when it's time to stop. Still, it's an interesting case. No. Ooh, hello. Is that a thing? Well, is that blue or... That's Iridium. Okay. Yeah, I know the landing gear's not... oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, you can actually go. Die it. Flying is not easy in this thing. And this comes from somebody who has a Type 7 in Elite Dangerous and flies it pretty much at full speed through that hole. Am I actually... So this was the... So it's a refined product. This is the thing that I got. So thermic condensate. Actually, 50. It's worth 50,000 units. That's not actually bad. That's simply good, actually. Problem is getting all the components for it, but I don't know quite where you get some of those things from. But yeah. Might be interesting to try and do that at some point. Right, let's go up to a space station and sell some shares. Hopefully get a hyperdrive, maybe do a few bits of jumps, see what there is to see in this world. And yeah. I really do want a better ship though. I want a freighter. I'd love to get a freighter. Freighters are basically just big mobile bases. So in a game that's about moving around, having a big mobile base is a really good idea, which kind of makes the whole idea of having land bases a bit weird. Alright, so we need the... Alright, so I first need to sell some stuff. I think we've just... oh, and the neutrino modules are to settle as well. And then we need to buy the dynamic resonator, just one of them, and build my core. No, my hyperdrive. However, I don't have any fuel for it. Can I? Oh, I can make warp cells, but I need to find antimatter, which I make by... I can't make antimatter. Excuse me while I buy some antimatter. If there is any, of course. It's probably just for running around like a lunatic. Let's buy items. I've got suspension fluid. I've got pretty much everything but what I actually need. But we got some ships here, some weird ships. It's actually quite a good variety of different ships, and I think they've added even more now. That one looks like a new one. I haven't seen that one before. Let's charge the equipment with a warp cell. I don't have the... Ooh. Locate the broadcast station, which means that I need to be looking for this little thing. Hopefully this will give me the ability to make antimatter. Hopefully. It's a bit of a palaver getting your ship set up. I mean, even in survival is even more of a grind to get your ship set up because everything costs more, and yeah, it's just not a very good example of what survival mode could be. I mean, you know, there are worse survival modes, certainly. Space Engineer's survival is awful. Mainly because of just how they've done things, how they set things up. So, for example, you can't actually start from nothing. So if you do mess up, you're stuffed, basically. No. Yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, and you can get rid of the... it's just basically another way of making some money, really. Sort of remove the corrupted items from the terminals or whatever. And they've done quite a few little bits and pieces just to make the game a little bit more deeper, I guess. So you got these things where you have to actually repair it to be able to get into it. So I need to go and find some carbon, and then I'll be able to get into that thing. It's a little bit more of a barrier, but I don't think it's actually a bad idea. on the basis that it kind of gives you a little bit more of a reason to, you know, it's not just I found this thing lying around and I get loads of stuff out of it. It's a little bit more, here's this thing, but you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to do something to get into this, and I quite like that. So you repair that and get nanite clusters out of it. So it's less of just a free thing. It's a little bit more of a reason to do it. Right. So we've got a hyperdrive. I should be able to make a warp cell. Now, how do I warp? I can't remember. Right. Got that in. Alright, so in space we go over to the galaxy map, and then what? Oh yeah, I need to, yeah, it's right. So we have I think I have to go there, so I need to warp there. There we go, and we've warped, yay. Okay, so what we've got one planet and it's owned by the Gek. And I'm going to go into the space station first. Actually, there's not really much point in me going to the space station. There's nothing really. Ooh. Let's do a scan. Source is a planetary outpost, but let's go over there. Do some of the story. Story's a little bit meh, but it's not really existent. Right, so we've got a nice world. It's certainly a winter wonderland. Oh my god, something's chugging a little. Do some scans as I just come into this planetary outpost. Mostly though, as I've said, it's actually easier to just use your eyes than rely on the scanner. It's not particularly great. But what will we find? That's the question. Right. 15 seconds and then we shall... I'll probably, yeah, you know, do this and then I shall probably leave afterwards to go and cause some trouble. Actually, I've been playing, not Hand of Fate, I have been playing Hand of Fate, but not that. That's not the game that I was thinking of. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Let me just have a look. Path of Exile. That's rather nice. It's kind of like Diablo 3-esque kind of style of doing things. So, right, why am I here? Right, so I've learned some Gek. I'm going to learn a bit more Gek. Ah, right, antimatter blueprint. Excellent. Well, I think I'm going to end this here now. This is basically the game. You wander around planets, there's some base building in there, there's all sorts of little bits and pieces. So anyway, I'm going to end this here now. So with that, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.